Welcome back. Sam Torrance at the fifth, 6 down with a putt to win this fifth hole, the short par 3, 191 yards. First round of the Toyota World Match Play Championship, and Torrance has played twice before and on both occasions previously gone out in the first round, and it doesn't look as if his record is going to be changed this afternoon. Bernhard Langer in control of this match, and Langer rounded a nominal 68, 4 under par this morning, the best round of the morning. 65 from Costantino Rocca. I say nominal because quite often you get putts conceded that it's possible, conceivable that players might miss, so the scores are just a rough guide. See, Sam had to be aggressive on the first putt, and he's paid the price perhaps. It's a 3 putt for a 4, and although understandably he's not conceding Bernhard Langer's putt, he must have resigned himself to the fact that Bernhard will knock this one in and will be 7 up. Will be 7 up with 13 holes to play. Torrance was around 72 level par this morning, which is it's not a bad score obviously by any means, but in these sort of circumstances, a match play where some holes you could really go for your shots, it's only averaging you would expect in this quality of field if you shot level par to be trailing. All routine for Langer. 7 up. Of course, in the history of this World Match Play Championship, there have been 1 or 2 remarkable comebacks, and it's going to need another chapter in that particular book if Sam Torrance is to be here tomorrow. This is for par for Montgomery. You can see David Duval's putt from across the green and up from 1 tier, 2nd tier to 3rd, and slid past the hole, and I'm sure he'll be asked to putt that. That's a 5 for Montgomery for the 2nd time running on this hole. And Duval has this one for the win to cut the lead from 5 to 4 holes. Never looked in doubt. The glasses, I wonder if he has the glasses off for short putts and on for the longer shots. But Janssen then still very much in the ascendancy against Katsuyoshi Tamori. 5 up after 6. He made that birdie at the 6th, where splendid second shot, and Tamori couldn't answer with a birdie of his own. Langer 7 up, Montgomery just 4 up now, and Rocca 3 up on Singh. So it maybe the first 3 matches are over fairly early. You never know, Singh can get 1 or 2 back. That final match against Rocca could go on to almost the end of daylight. We shall see. Difficult though to see Sam Torrance against Bernhard Langer coming back. Langer's such a steady player. You see the iron off the tee, just looking to put this one down the left-hand side of the fairway. Well, having said that, he's pushed that up to the right, and a bunker may come into play. 230 yards off the tee on the right-hand side. Tee shot now, Sam Torrance. One away to the left. Almost the same spot as Lee Janssen, but he's just in the first cut of rough. But he's opened the course up, coming in from the wide side. And while the final match of the 4 encounters we have today have made it on to the 3rd green. Just a question of who's to putt. There's the referee, John Paramore, the Senior Tournament Director of the PGA European Tour. And a pretty useful golfer himself, former Surrey County champion. I think he currently plays off at 2 or 3. I think he's a member here at Wentworth. It's Wentworth where the PGA Tour have their headquarters, building just behind the main clubhouse. And there he is, John Paramore, the senior referee. Probably saw him on your screens last year at Valderrama, had to officiate in the difficult decision with Severiano Ballesteros, and you see it's pretty humid. He's a big man, John, just feeling the heat a little. Sad that Sevi's not here, but I think it's right that he's taking the break to prolong his career beyond next season. Not the best of putts from Vijay Singh. I think he was struggling with his back slightly when we saw him last week in Berlin. Rocker had, I think, 5 second places this year. Hasn't had a victory in '95, but in many respects his finest ever year. And with 3 points out of 5 in the Ryder Cup win at Oak Hill, more than played his part, because had that spectacular hole-in-one in the foursomes playing with Sam Torrance on the Saturday morning. And that will be okay. Oh, Langer just short of the bunker. Not the ideal side to come in on. Right over the pin. Well, he may have taken the iron to take the bunker out of play, so no matter what happened, he couldn't reach it. Singh for the half of the third. Nicely done. I think this may be the match that goes the furthest. Just doesn't seem to be moving that freely, does Vijay. Plays most of his golf these days on the United States Tour, where he's won almost $1 million this year, top 10 in the order of merit. Well, Sam Torrance needs a series of mini golfing miracles to get out of jail against Bernhard Langer. Oh, nearly a snooker. You see coming, that was the problem coming out of that semi, didn't get the grip, and he run right to the back of the green, and again he's at 3-putt range. So Janssen against Tamori. Tamori getting a hole back. Only 4 down now. Langer well in control against Sam Torrance. Colin Montgomery 4 up on David Duval, and Rocker and Singh halving the third.
World Rally champion lives inside every Toyota.
The chips behind me cracked a slam to. Whole ship gave a sickening heave, and same moon swung in, groaning on the block, showed me the lee after deck. The sea, its heroes, its races, its legends. Sailing Magazine, the magazine of today's sailing world. This program is brought to you on Eurosport by Omega. Sailing Magazine, Friday midnight on Eurosport.
Welcome back. Problems continue for Sam Torrance. He's 7 down against Bernhard Langer. He's had his birdie attempt from long range, and this is the first round of the Toyota World Match Play Championship, and he'd rather race that past as he has to. He's got to gamble now, and Bernhard Langer, all he has to do is get this putt up close, and at worst he's going to still be 7 up, and he may well find himself even 8 holes to the good. Even so, you would say the pressure is off Langer, and it's just a stroll in the autumn sun, taking no chances. Would have earned a little on the line actually from Torrance's putt, but didn't put it to good effect, and just he's annoyed with it. 7 up and he's annoyed with himself. I guess that's the standards that you have to set. Putt conceded though, and this is for Sam Torrance to halve the hole. Of course, I don't know if Sam's actually doing this one from home. The players are, they get the houses that are made available to the 12 players in the Wentworth area combined. Oh, well done. And they provide a chef as well, cordon bleu chef. They really do live very well. But Sam will tell you that his wife Suzanne is the world's #1 cook, so that could be interesting. Still 7 up then, hole halved in 4. You see, Tamori won't go away against Janssen. He's suffering from flu, but well, 4 up for the American. Langer not so far away perhaps from victory against Torrance, and Montgomery comfortable cushion against Duval, despite the fact the American won the 3rd hole. Perhaps the closest match of all could be, and it is at the moment anyway, Rocker against Singh, and they halved the 2nd hole in birdie 2, and they both made 4s at the 3rd hole. The 4th hole, the par 5, which is very reachable in 2 for these players. They drive down the hill in the background and swing round. And there's Duval again, and conceding the putt of Conor Montgomery. Montgomery, rather surprisingly, not on the green in 2 and could only make it a 5 at best. Duval with a birdie 4 has won 2 holes in a row, and now he's only 3 down to Montgomery. See the shortest walk through to the 5th. And here, 191 yards, a fairly flat hole. Sometimes difficult to gauge the distance. Quite a deep green. And today, the pin 20 paces on and cut left side 5 paces on from the left. So almost where you saw that player and caddy in terms of length, then up the green a little bit, top side. And all sorts of undulations on this green. Basically, as the players look at it, the green will slope a little from left to right. So anywhere to just the right side of the pin will give them the easiest putt for their 2nd. See, between Tony Gray from PGA Seniors Tour, mostly these days, and the referee for this match. He hit a 4-iron this morning. You see, just a little bit aggressive, a little bit greedy into the bunker, and that's a difficult sand trap shot now, downhill. Montgomery went in with a 5-iron this morning to just 22 feet away from the pin. And curiously enough, Duval bunkered his tee shot first time round. It's into the afternoon sun. Didn't see it, but it's pretty good. Important hole for Colin Montgomery. 3 up is still quite a reasonable cushion, but he doesn't want to let the American win 3 in a row to get to 2 within 2 holes. This is a lovely free flowing swing though. Doesn't wait quite that long in the address. You can see the head very still as he takes it back full turn. Just a 3/4 swing, and then he comes in and drives those legs in, left side clearing, and everything through the ball. Just turned it over a fraction into the bunker. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of David Duval in the coming years. Exciting young talent. Now here's Colin Montgomery swing going with a 5 iron. And he really has been hitting his irons so well all year long, right from the first round in the Desert Classic in Dubai. There he goes, just over the horizontal. That's where he gets the pain in the wrist, in the left wrist. And he says if he doesn't go beyond the horizontal, he doesn't play his best golf. Big man, and again everything through the ball. Beautiful high finish. And if you can get the club up to that position at the finish, well, you know that you've had good club head speed through the ball. Just the momentum to carry you that far. That's a beautiful finish. The problem for Duval is he really hasn't got much green to work with, and it's downhill to the pin, so he's got to get this up as high as he can. Maybe just pitch it on midway between the first cut of the green and the pin, and hope that he can get enough spin to stop the ball even though it's downhill. And you see, and he couldn't. So a chance for Montgomery now. I suppose what he's got to do really is just he's 3 up, just keep getting it close, and obviously a birdie was very nice, but he doesn't want to charge it and run it 4 or 5 feet past. A nice solid 3, and then Duval's got to hold his. Because he too will be very much involved in that 3-way race for the #1 position in the order of merit for the 3rd year running in Montgomery's case, and you can see all 4 days from Valderrama live on Eurosport. It's got a chance. Oh, well. Well, that was the perfect putt, because even if it had missed, it was going to be no more than 6 or 9 inches from the hole. And although he was just beginning to wobble a little, having lost 3 and 4, Colin Montgomery back in control against David Duval, back at 4 up. Of course, I suppose 1 or 2 of you won't have seen so much of these particular holes. Over the years, over the 30-odd years, I suppose from 14 into 18, 15, 16, and then those 2 par 5, 17 and 18, you become very familiar with those holes. But over the years, and particularly the last 2 or 3 years, well, the boundaries have been extended in coverage of golf tournaments, and now, well, we're perfectly capable of following a match around all 18 holes. And here's the 6th hole again. You see that bunker up on the right-hand side. That's 235-yard carry. Bernhard Langer was just short of that. There's a bunker on the left, 200 yards carry, that won't worry the players. In they come, and that first bunker just at the bottom of your screen now doesn't really come into play, but with a pin fairly close to the front of the green, it's possible that those two bunkers guarding the left and right approaches could come into play. But like so many, Montgomery quite happy to take the iron. 2 iron this will be. We'll only leave him an 8 or a 9 iron in. So the trains running by the side of the 9th hole is the main London to Southampton railway line. Montgomery's okay. This becomes a father for the first time, hopefully in January. And after the Volvo Masters, going to take a long break from golf. 2 iron also for David Duval. So tomorrow, the second round, the 4 seeds coming into play. 4 matches, best of 36 holes again, and the 2 semi-finals on Saturday, and then Sunday the 36-hole final within the afternoon, an 18-hole playoff for 3rd and 4th place. And each day, weather permitting, live on the Eurosport from 3 o'clock to 5. The forecast is a little bit iffy in terms of the likelihood of fog over the next couple of days. We're expecting a few showers Saturday night, which may just break up the early morning fog. There's the view of Wentworth, and if you look closely you can see that many £1 million has been spent on renovation. If you look right side of your picture, the building, the brown roof behind the clubhouse, that's the headquarters of the PGA European Tour. And here they have a ballroom, bar, and a new professional shop for Ryder Cup captain Bernard Gallagher. Haven't seen him so far this week, but if I do, and if he can be persuaded, try and get him into the Eurosport commentary box for a short spell. Just a few thoughts on the Ryder Cup and life thereafter. And I have a beautiful shot from Montgomery. You see far enough back to get the spin. Not the easiest of pins to get at. This shot of around about 130 yards for Duval, maybe just a 9 iron. Well, 2 excellent shots. Montgomery will be first to putt, and of course, if he makes his, puts all the pressure onto the American. Now to the 5th, Rocker and Singh having halved the par 5 4th hole. And Singh in the bunker, same as Duval, and again same problems. Going to be very difficult to stop the ball close or short of the hole. In fact, it's going to be even harder for VJ because he's further back, so he's got to hit this correspondingly harder. He may be able to get it a little bit higher and therefore get some more spin on it. That's a pretty wild shot to be in that position.
Beautiful, beautiful.
You see, with it able to hit the ball a little bit harder to spin it a touch more, but even so couldn't stop it short of the hole. But see, a lot closer than Duval was, and a chance maybe of a par 3. VJ beaten semi-finalists last year after beating Jesper Parnevik and Corey Pavin. Lost to Colin Montgomery only by 1 hole, mind you. And also played in 1992 when he lost in the first round to Jeff Sluman. But Rocker, first ever appearance. Putt to win and 2 putts may be good enough. A bit pacey, very pacey. Yes. I'm not sure that's what he meant to do. Just guessing, why did I hit it that hard? I only had to get it close. May actually be Rocker's putt. Quickly forward to 6, and Montgomery, a hammer blow again. Birdie, he's gone. Lost 2 holes in a row and stung into action. 4 up, and David Devout has a putt to halve. And if he misses, it will be 5. You see Montgomery not even staying to watch. Well, he's probably going to watch from the back of the green. Come and stand alongside the camera, as long as he doesn't stand in front of it. Not quite. First round losers each will receive £30,000, and at the moment David Devout is looking as though he will be one of those. 5 down to Colin Montgomery. Looking through the draw, the winner of this match will play Steve Alkington, and the winner of that match will play Rocker Singh or Crenshaw in the semi-final. That's the bottom half of the draw, which I think looks just a little bit easier than the top half, where Janssen and Tamori against Els and Torrance or Langer against Price. Just conceded, and that's a poor 3 putt. And if he loses this hole, he's going to be very angry indeed. And this is for the win, an unlikely win for Vijay Singh. Difficult to say who was let off there, really, but the hole in the end halved. Rather ingloriously in bogey 4. And there it was, second time round. It's always easier. So a let off for Rocker. And really a let off for Singh as well, because Rocker should no way should he have 3 putted from where he was, knowing that 2 putts was likely to be good enough. It's quite a steep climb up the various tiers of this 6T. The view from behind the green. Singh hit a 3-wood this morning, and he left him a lob wedge in. It looks like he's going with a 3-wood again. Well, he made a birdie 3, so no reason really, and he won the hole. No reason to change the tactics. Just That's okay, it's just on the fairway, and I'm sure it will be the lob wedge again. The lob wedge a little more lofted than the sand wedge. These players, quite a lot of them carry 3 wedges these days, because Yarmo Sandling carries up to 5, and sometimes, depending on the course they're playing, it will vary. They put the extra wedge in, perhaps. Rocker 2-iron. He's pushed that up on the right-hand side, and that was where Bernhard Langer was, and he should, if he's the same as Langer, be short of the bunker. But no doubt he's got the harder shot to come in. So he just got the right shoulder in and just shoved it away to the right. That's what he's telling to his quite graphic. Well, you can see what if he's made a putt, missed a putt, won a hole, lost a hole, or missed a shot. You can tell what Rocker is thinking. I don't think he'd be the world's greatest poker player. And there the autumn trees, quite a lot of the leaves still left on the trees, even though we're in mid-October. Haven't started to fall yet. The next couple of weeks, I'm sure they'll start to come tumbling down when we get some heavy rainfall. Now the first match has gone round the loop, and here they are on the par 3 10th hole. And the Anson 5 up with 9 to play. And this is a 4-iron. One of the few players who doesn't wear a glove on his left hand, rather like Freddie Couples. Well, that's a beauty. Carried it all the way. Pin today, 26 paces on from the front. Getting fairly close to the left-hand side, just 4 paces from the left-hand side. You can see how the green at an angle runs across, and the railway line pretty close as well. You see in between those trees. You've got to hit a longish iron, but flight it fairly high as well. And for Tamori, it's also a 4-iron. That, ooh, that caught someone. I hope they were in shin pads. That caught someone a nasty blow. And a little bit of luck for Tamori, because he just pulled that round a bit to the left, and had there not been spectators, he would have run away down through the tree roots and down towards the 11th tee, and would have had virtually an impossible shot back. Let's go back to the 6. Remember, Costantino Rocca pushed his tee shot to the right, but well short of the bunker, and that's okay. You can see it is not the ideal side to come in, because you've got to be long enough to get to the pin, and then the terrain slopes away from right to left, and that's why he's so far past the pin. This is a much easier shot for Vijay Singh. And he's made a pretty poor fist of it as well. That is not a good shot at all, just less than 100 yards away, and I think he's probably put it into that bunker. It's possibly the worst shot. Well, it's definitely the worst shot we've seen today, and probably one of the worst that VJ's ever hit. And it all feels a little bit dispiriting. 3 down, and he had a chance to put that one close to fight back, and now he's thinking, well, could I be 4 down, and do I really want to be here? He's got to try and put those thoughts out of his mind. Hit the bunker shot close. And you never know, Rocker could 3-putt again from where he is. Here's the helicopter shot of the 10th, just coming in, show how close the railway line was, and you know, over the heather and the green elevated through those trees, falls away sharply to the right, the pin over on the left-hand side. You just see over on the left running down towards those trees, and not much to stop it there. Unfortunately for Tamori, there was a ring of spectators 4 or 5 deep. Even so, he's got a pretty tricky chip. Whilst Janssen is below the hole, uphill putt for a 2. And Yatsuyoshi Tamori, 31 in 2 weeks' time. Well, he really couldn't have played that any better. And his only chance was to hit the pin. Let's see if EJ Singh's ball did go, indeed it did go into the bunker. Yes, in his game, just what we saw in Berlin last week, where he finished down amongst the pack, that it wasn't quite the sharpness about VJ's game that we've come to expect. I think he's maybe having quite a bit of trouble with his back. Rocker doesn't want a 3-putt 2 times in a row. And you'd be surprised if he did. No, well, I'm not sure that he hasn't tickled that one a foot or 2 past. He has. And this is the beauty of match play in a way. If VJ can knock this one in, he might have played the hole pretty poorly and walk off with a win. But if he misses, well, that's safe, and that's an unlikely 4 after that very poor second shot. Well, there's always a chance that Langer will hold this for a 4, which you or I would perhaps not be too confident of doing. You see, it's the same 100% attention to detail. And he's 7 up anyway, so he might just walk to the next tee 6 up. You know, you could excuse him for being a little bit lackadaisical, a little bit flippant in his approach, but that's what's made Langer one of the world's greatest players, that just takes every shot on its merit and gives it his best shot. Well, he's played 4 and he's still not made the putting surface. And he hasn't lost his turn, so if he doesn't hold this one, I think we may see a concession. Sam's played 2. Langer having played 3. Ooh, there's an out of bounds behind that tee. He just pushed it a little bit right, and the ground's fairly soft. If he'd got a hard bounce, would have been, or could have been, close to the out of bounds. But again, he's let Janssen in. Well, that's the 5. Hole conceded. And Sam Torrance, once he hit his tee shot, couldn't have been too confident of taking the hole, but he has. He's still 6 down, mind you. So Janssen with the iron into this 12 green. Knows that if he wins this hole, that will be his place in the second round secure, and looking very much favourite to do exactly that. Pin 26 paces on, cut centre of the green. And Janssen against Ernie Els. That will be a terrific match tomorrow. Did you see just getting the marker there, just saying what club did you hit? And I think that was probably a 3-iron from Lee Janssen. That's what he indicated. This morning he'd hit a 4-wood. You see the greenkeeper with every match as well to rake over the bunkers. Well, clearly we're not going to be able to stay with this first round of the Toyota World Match Play Championship until the conclusion of the play. That's obviously because of the 2-hour delay we have for Falk this morning. Just to let you know, Eurosport News, 7:30 tonight, they will cover or carry the results of all 4 games. And still 25 minutes or so of golf to enjoy before then, though. And we very likely will see the conclusion of this, the opening match of the 4. And you may just see Bernhard Langer close out Sam Torrance. We shall see. There's the 13th tee, and you can see just behind the out of bounds, it wasn't so far away. There's Janssen 6 up, with 6 to play after this, so if he wins this hole, sayonara. And no real grip for Tamori, so he may still be playing. I think there it is, conceded. 7 and 6. So Tamori conceding the hole, and the score 7 up with 6 to play. Lee Janssen is our first round winner, and his reward, a match tomorrow against the defending champion and number 1 seed Ernie Els. So a good day's work for Lee Janssen. Is Bernhard Langer going to be the second through? We will find out in the next quarter of an hour or so, perhaps, unless Torrance can fight back. So the first of the 4 matches settled, and we'll be back with more of the first round from the Toyota World Match Play after the break. See you then. Lee Janssen through to the second round of the Toyota World Match Play, and I wonder if Bernhard Langer is close to joining him. Langer and Torrance at the 11th, with Langer 6 up, with 7 to play after this hole. Both players close, Langer the closer. There you see marking his ball. You see Sam Torrance just on the green, but you can see just to the right of the pin, the pitch mark. That was Torrance's pitch mark. Looked very good, but span back probably 12 feet or so. See the tilt of the cap suggests that Sam's had quite a tough day of it, and maybe over shortly. Won the 10th hole through Langer's indifferent play. Jensen beating Tamori 7 and 6. And somehow Sam Torrance has got to get this famous broom handle putter that served him so well, which is spreading more and more players on the Volvo Tour adopting the broom handle. Gordon Brown Jr., DJ Russell, David Williams, I think. Had a chat to yesterday. Mighty relieved he was as well, David Williams, to keep his card. Didn't get a place in Berlin, flew out and hung around the whole of the first day. He was first alternate, didn't get in, and was pretty relieved when the cut came and it looked as if he was going to keep his card for next year, which he did. I think it's been one of those days for Sam. It just, you have days when those all go in, and that's when you win tournaments. So the end could be coming at the next hole, who knows. Certainly Bernhard Langer has a putt to be 7 up with, normally 7 to play. Remember how this time 12 months ago Sevi Ballesteros, who'd been slighted that he hadn't been invited first of all to the Toyota World Match Play, lightened up our Thursday afternoon with an 8 and 7 drubbing of David Frost. Well, we've not had golf really of that standard quite 12 months on, but you have some pretty interesting second round matches, that's for sure. Langer misses that, remains 6 up, but still very much the favourite to go through and play Nick Price tomorrow. So I'm sure Langer's thinking perhaps it could have been all over by now. I made a complete hash of the 10th hole and perhaps should have had his birdie at 11. Just having to work that a little bit harder now. There's trees to go through, or these players will carry them. They're about 180, 190 yards from the tee. And Torrance down the left-hand side. And didn't look as if it was sitting that well. It looked to nestle down in the rough. So if Bernhard can get his ball on the centre of fairway, he may have a chance to clinch the win. Again, he's going across to the right-hand side this time. May suggest that he's going to try and hit it down the left and fade it back onto the fairway. Again, this noticeably has been allowed to grow in by the Chris Kennedy and his greenkeeping staff. And it's quite a narrow band of target. He's setting up actually to hit it straight with a bit of draw. Well, that was the plan, but he left it way out to the right, and well, he may be okay, because there again you see the spectator walkways trample down. He may get quite a good lie from there. He may have been a touch lucky. Well, if he was aiming to hit it with a bit of draw, it just didn't happen, and he pushed it out to the right. So further evidence that although he's 6 up, he's not 100% on his game. We've seen that twirl at the 10th where his ball went left and was lucky to hit a spectator, and then he's pushed that one away to the right. Right, chance to go back to the 10 and pick up the story of David Devow and Conor Montgomery. You see Montgomery 5 up now, still in command. So no change really around the loop. The par conceded for Montgomery, and maybe a chance for Devow to get one back. The little goatee beard is a fairly recent addition, certainly in the programme. He's clean shaven. Got one back. So only 4. Say only 4, it's still a useful cushion, a useful lead. Now, it depends with Torrance on the left-hand side of the 12th just what his lie is. He's got that 7 wood in the bag, which is a more than useful club that he can use quite often to get up. You see the trees about 180, 190 yards off the tee, and then how narrow the fairway is, and Bernhard Langer away to the right, a bit close to the trees, but probably on quite a good trample down lie. And then they turn, and if they've hit a proper drive, just a long iron into the green. But if they're too long, close behind, out of bounds. The sunlight, the sun's starting to set and looking into quite a glare. Langer carries a 5 wood, and I think this may be the club he's using. Well, there's not spontaneous applause, and if that's going left, he'd be in problems with out of bounds, but it's gone right and he's into the bunker. And we'll have a chance of getting up and down in 2. And Torrance, I'm sure, with the 7 wood. turning around. He's capable of hitting that 240 yards, which would be good enough, and he's carried it all the way, and that's a super shot from that live from Sam Torrance. Not that much applause, because I'm not sure that many people can actually see where it's finished. But he has a chance of extending this match maybe a hole or two further. Rocker around the loop, keeping that 3-hole advantage over Vijay Singh. We'll be back to see them at the 10th after the break. You're watching the Toyota World Match Play on Eurosport. Bernhard Langer takes the applause. An exquisite bunker shot at the 12. I'm sure that will lead to a birdie 4. He's 6 up against Sam Torrance in this first round match in the Toyota World Match Play Championship. So if we concede the birdie to Langer, here's the bunker shot. Beautifully played. And this, though, for eagle for Sam Torrance, and if he really is to get back into this game, this well, this has to go in. Giving it a chance. And if the hole is halved in birdie 4, as I suspect it might be, then Bernhard Langer will be 6 up with 6 to play. Just checking with Sam Torrance. We're coming to the closing stages of our coverage of the first round of the Toyota World Match Play. Can't follow all the matches through to a conclusion, that of course because of the 2-hour delay this morning for fog. But you will be able to see the results in full on Eurosport News at 7:30 tonight. Well, Langer doesn't miss many of these. Peter Cole just getting out of the way of the camera. Very considerate. Now the perfect view of the birdie 4, and I think He will concede the putt of Sam Torrance's. So the hole halved in birdie 4, and with 6 holes to play, Bernhard Langer is 6 up on Sam Torrance. Well, Colin Montgomery is in control of his match against David Duval, and Constantino Rocca has an advantage against Vijay Singh. We'll show you coverage of Friday, Saturday and Sunday play, 2 hours each day from 3 o'clock, live here on Eurosport. Just a reminder, 7:30 tonight on Eurosport News, you can get all the results. Till tomorrow then, from me, Steve Beddow, from Wentworth and West Course, goodbye. Yeah, hi. That was good. Yeah, hi Angus. 4 up. Monty's 4 up. I think that was live. You sure? Hang on, let me see if I can get you another. Hang on. Yeah, he's 3 up now. Yeah, I'm looking out at the computer, which says Langer 1, 5 and 4. Monty's 3 up and they're on 14, and Rocker's 3 up, they're on 13. Yeah, and I'll just look at Monty if you want me to stay with it. He's in deep shit. He's playing it off, nearly hit the camera. Yes, Rocker's now 4 up after 14. Yeah, that must be true. He's picked his ball up on 15. Let me just see which hole this is. No, that's actually, they're just showing it 11. Sorry. Now hang on. After they're on 15 now, and he's 3 up on the 15th. Rocker 3 up on the 13th. Yep. 6 to play. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Could be. All right, mate. I've got another badge if you needed to get in. Okay. All right. Yeah, please. Yeah, you're down for it. Okay. Yeah, no problem. See you, mate.
Yeah. I meant to tell you about that. And you could have sort of tallied it back and find out.
I could have gone backwards and forwards, couldn't I? What
Yeah.
I'll do tomorrow, I'll go.
You just do that, yeah?
Yeah, so I can check it.
Yeah.
Because they put a wide shot up at the end, just to wind it up. I mean, they did what I said they should do, which was say, okay, we can't, because of the delay, we can't bring you results. Eurosport news 7:30 for all the
Okay.
which is okay, because I mean, if we stayed an extra half hour, we're still not going to see the end up.
Oh no, the end's got to be an hour away.
Has Ewan finished yet, or
No, Ewan's going to go on to the end.
is he? I suppose some people will have the option
Yeah.
of taking it. Right, relief.
So you're happy with that, or do you need another monitor?
I'm happy with that.
Yeah, okay.
All I need to do,
Well, we don't know what it's going to be
I
tomorrow.
just put it on can't reach across. Yeah, no, don't worry, Tim, that'll be fine. Well, Langer's one, actually.
Langer's one.
Yeah, he got 5-4. They were in a little bit of delay, just. Marty's 3 up before the play. Rocker's 4 up before the play, so it could all finish pretty quickly. Which is why I'm not going to sit. I think all the traffic might as well wait. Traffic disperse.
Rock's 4 up. Yeah, we were out obviously tomorrow. And that, and yes. This morning. Going around there. Me. Tomorrow is just when it got down to the sort of,
Suffering from flu or something.
yeah, that's what they said. Langer was 5 up, wasn't
Yeah, 6 up.
he? 6 up.
He was 6 up. Missed the birdie. He lost the 10th and he missed the birdie on the 11th. Could have had it one. Out in the countryside. Quite easily. But
What does so 5 and 4 means? 4,
5 up before the play.
5 up.
So when you ball holds up there, I'll have you won.
Yeah.
You can win 6 and 4 because you could be 4 up before the play.
So Langer's 1, that's it.
Yeah. keeping everybody waiting.